All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So a mixed bag here across the four, actually. All right, Tilray, I definitely wanted a little bit more. Don't get me wrong, but it's weird. I'm like 50-50 on how I feel about Monday. All right, if you watch my videos often, you know the doji is probably the only candle shape that I care about, and not quite the follow through I wanted to see. But I think there might be some decent positives still here. All right, and I'll go into those details shortly. All right, CGC. Listen, I always say reverse split is death. It's still going down, and again, my hope, and again, I say this with love, right? I obviously don't want any stock to go down, but when there's a stock I expect to go down, I hope that the implosion stays to that only, and that's a big thing I talked about in the last video, right? So and then really SNDL and HITI are actually a bit of an opposite view. SNDL is actually looking like it's losing some moving averages. HITI looking like it's breaking them, right? So overall, like I said, a little odd across the sector, not quite the harmony, but yeah, I think a lot of it weighs on Tilray. That's generally why I start with that one, and I'll get into those details shortly. But before we go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to this channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad if you disagree. I'm telling you, it is all so helpful and very much appreciated, all right? But let's get into it. And Tilray, okay? It's weird. I don't even know where I want to start. Okay, I think the big thing to start with is this 50 moving average, and it's interesting, right? Because this is a break of several moving averages, and that is a good candle that I like right there, right? So in many ways, like I was bullish because of that, right? And look, technical analysis isn't perfect, and all those sort of disclaimers that very much are true, right? But yeah, I see the break. I see the confirmation. I saw the doji. I was expecting this to come up. I really was, and as disappointed as I am, I think there's still a couple positives that jump out, and then I'm going to draw a new line on this. Okay, so look, first and foremost, this was a line that I'm glad we held. Okay, I know we didn't do it by much, but believe me, I'm glad we're a penny above the line than penny below the line. Okay, so I'm glad we held this 198 line. I think there's a little bit of positive to that. I like that the 8 average is still actually going up. Okay, maybe you can kind of say there's a bit of a curve. I think that's a little. I'm seeing a good line that's going up right now. Again, don't get me wrong. We've seen it where it's kind of right here. No, that actually keeps going up, right? I can't really find a good one. But yeah, I have seen times where it looks like it's going up, but then obviously it just kind of comes back down and doesn't do the thing, right? So I don't want to overemphasize this too much, but yeah, I'm glad the 8's still going up. And again, 8's going to move 3 times faster than this. It's going to move, what? I don't know how many times faster than the 50. I can't do that math quick enough. Maybe 6, I think. But, as long as the 8 goes up, that should drag the 20 and hopefully the 50 after, right? But the one new thing I want to draw is this. I want to draw a trend line, okay? Now, you can argue that maybe the trend line should be drawn from here, right? I am not going to do that. I think where I see the trend line forming is this, nope. Click right there, is essentially that line. I'm going to adjust this just a little bit, okay? Right there. I think that's our line. Basically from the bottom of this guy to the bottom of this guy, okay? And I will be honest, I drew that before this call, damn dude, before this video here, right? And I thought it was a good line for a couple reasons actually, because kind of stops it right here, opens up right here, actually saves it on both these lines, right? And generally, if you watch my videos, I do corner to corner, right? So I think this is our trend line. Hopefully, again, it's pretty much exact with that 189 line, right? So I don't know how much extra that drawing actually added, but yeah, this is going to be a good little moment where hopefully we can bounce back up from it, right? The one thing that's a little concerning is the volume, but hey, I guess it's decreasing a little bit, right? It was a little higher on Friday. It was 20 million. It's now 17 million, right? Like hopefully, you know, we're going down like we did right there, and then we'll get a little bit of a bump right there. We went down right there. We got a little bit of a bump right there, right? So let's see if there's a little bit of a volume pattern right there with the going down and then maybe a couple days up, right? But yeah, at this point, we either are going to be dropping down to, roughly speaking, 194, or we're going to be going for that. Oh, dude, that's exactly that's where we need to go, I think, right? Because that's roughly 209. 209 is really our number. I really, really want to see this get to 209. I would take 206 as well. $2.06 could be okay. But yeah, make me believe just a little bit more. Give me 209. Again, the goal is for us to get to these lines right here. It should be around 220 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, exactly. We want to climb towards 220. All right. The one thing I want to show, because I know I mentioned it last time on the video, Dow Jones is deciding what it wants to do. Is it going to confirm all-time highs and go, or is it going to kind of drop a little bit, right? Look, neither of those, all 3 days are obviously physically over this purple all-time high line, right? Like we're actually 200 bucks roughly above that line. None of those three are making me believe, yep, we've broken this and we're going to go. Like this is still a resistance line as of right now, right? So I can actually see Monday, and again, it would actually be a pretty hard day, so I don't think it'd be a single day, but I can see maybe Tuesday through Wednesday kind of bringing us back into this like 36.9 range, give or take. That's actually kind of really low volume too, actually. We've been bouncing on the 8 like a champ. I've been wrong guessing the indices too, right? So like kind of take this with a grain of salt, right? But look, if Dow Jones confirms all-time highs and it goes up, oh man, it should be hard to stop Tilray. If Dow Jones can't keep going, I think we're gonna, you know, see a little bit of a here. Look, it should be very, very, very hard to lose 186. I think if this starts to fall into $1.83, $1.82, I might start getting a little worried, but ideally, we never even get that low in the 180s. I actually, there should be some really good strength at this 187, 186 range, and hopefully we don't go any lower than that, all right? If that includes a little bit of a healthy drop on the indices, right? But yeah, I wanted more from Tilray. I never, okay, let me go to the doji real quick, all right? I'm not a candle pattern guy, all right, by any means, but doji represents uncertainty to me. Some people thought it should have flown. Some people thought it should have died. They just decided to basically end roughly at the same place it opened, right? The day after, the doji generally tells the truth, all right? I'm hoping the fact that these held it is a good thing. And like I said, we start making our way back up to those numbers I gave. Otherwise, yeah, I can see us coming into that 193, 190 range. Ideally, one more time, nowhere below that 186, okay? Not too much on the weekly here, I'll be honest with you. Again, that's a really healthy number. Hopefully, we'll start to see that peak a little bit. Volume's nothing spectacular, but again, I think if Dow Jones can do what it wants to do, that should help here. So let me know your thoughts and opinions. Again, I was expecting more. I'm still bullish, right? Like I think when I feel comfortable that supports are going to hold it, you can come down a little bit and still be bullish, right? Like, you know, as long as we can hold these, I think we should be okay. And obviously, I would love tomorrow, like I said, to be the bounce point up, all right? So, Tilray, let me know if you have any other thoughts or opinions. Otherwise, look, CGC, I mean, this last 4 days is what I would expect, right? Reverse split is death. There's not a lot more that I can say there, right? The good thing to me, the good thing to me is that so far it's kind of been, like I said, it's been limited here, right? No one's taken a real big, almost unnecessary double-digit loss because of the CGC noise. And that happens often, especially in this sector, right? Where some random ticker will pull down everyone else, even though there's like nothing related at all, right? But I can't imagine good things happening here. I'm telling you, even if even if Dow Jones decides to go back up, like, I think volume's going to start picking up in the bad side. I think we're going to start to lose some supports. And yeah, I think we're going to start knocking on this all-time low number, if not lose it, right? Because again, on the weekly, you can see it. There is nothing under 41 cents, right? So I am not a fan here. I'm really not. And again, I still believe even if the weed sector goes up, I'm not quite sure it'll lift CGC with it. All right. So this one for sure is just nothing but a lot of bad news on this one. And again, I might be wrong. Let me know if you disagree with me. Right. But yeah, reverse splits are death, man. Like, it just hurts. Though the great things I saw on the comments were a lot of people bringing back up HEXO. Okay, and if there's one thing I keep stressing across my videos is, look, you have a very, very long trading career ahead of you. I still have a long trading career ahead of me, right? Like, I make mistakes very often. I'm not pretending to be perfect, even great, or, you know, you get that, right? But when you make a mistake on HEXO and you eat a real bad loss on reverse splits, you should gain a little bit of a hesitation. And a lot of people, Leisha is the one that comes out to mind, right? But I know I saw a lot of people thumbs up it, and I know a couple others actually mentioned it. But yeah, if you can learn from a mistake like HEXO and avoid it on CGC, oh my gosh, can you imagine the rest of your journey in trading, right? So again, if this was your first bite of the apple on reverse split, I'm telling you, very soon you, like me, will start to get I have lost silly money on reverse splits. I have. I like, there's a reason why I say reverse splits death. I've seen it. I have seen my money die from it. You know what I mean? So I'm never going to tell you what to do with yours, right? But yeah, just a couple comments on that, right? I don't even need to look on the weekly, in all honesty. So let's come into SNDL, and there's a really good chance I'm actually going to like chapter bunch it with high tide, because it bothers me, all right, that we're losing them all here. And then on the flip side, and again, I'll go into a little bit more detail here, we're actually trying to regain them here, all right? This volume's 144K. This volume is 2 point something million, right? So I don't necessarily know if it's quite fair to do an apples and apples comparison, right? But I am a little I'm a little lost for words. I am, right? Because again, you know, when you watch my videos, I look for harmony. I look for a symmetry across a sector. If I'm looking at AI stocks, I'm expecting them all to do the same thing. If I'm looking at EV stocks, same thing. With weed stocks, I'm telling you, they all should basically be doing the same thing. And hopefully, like I said, if something bad happens to one, like a CGC doing a reverse split, hopefully the rest are doing something completely separate from that one, right? And yeah, I think it's just a little odd to me that SNDL isn't able to go up. I think the real obvious thing here, you can see it, right, is that 50 moving average line, that red one that I was kind of marching my finger over, right? We definitely had a good candle there. We tried to get over the 50 right there. We could not confirm, right? This right here was the first time we were able to get over the 50 since October, right? So and again, kind of the same comments with TLRY. You see the doji and you see the aftermath, right? Not a big percent loss, but very ugly candle to say the least, right? So this line right here has been a decent support. It's caught us once, it's caught us twice. It should catch it. Look, when I talk about supports in my head, generally speaking, it should catch it about 3 or 4 times. Around the 4th or 5th time, I start to get a little worried, okay? let's see what this 140 line can do, right? And again, the last thing to talk about, sorry, zoomed in too much right there. These 5 lines are pretty close to each other. There is a very tight cluster of these 3, and again, these 2 aren't that far away, right? And there are moments where it's hard to escape when all the moving averages are too close. You go up, you come down, you go up, you come down, right? So again, a little disappointed to see SNDL seemingly slip below all 5. For sure, this was only a single day, right? You can't get too excited when it's going up, and you can't get too scared when it's going down, right? So this either should bring us back into that like 149, 147 range tomorrow, or I can see us, you know, coming down to this 140 and seemingly retest it again, right? See what it does. But numbers are healthy down here. Obviously, volume wasn't great the last couple days, but I normally don't like Fridays anyways, right? So let's see what Tuesday does. Tuesday either, like I said, confirms this or at least brings us back into it. The one other thing to say, like I said, sometimes you fall real low on the moving averages and then for no reason it all gets sucked back in. It's actually the same thing that sometimes you get really above it and you get sucked back down, right? Either way, you know I don't like trading when they're this tight, right? But yeah, just couple thoughts from you know that, right? Yeah, I think that's kind of it on SNDL. Let me know if you see anything. Otherwise, look, high tide is kind of the inverse of the exact same things I said, right? So you still have a lot of really tight lines. You can see it. There was a moment where we fell all the way below and then almost for no reason at all came right back up, and then almost for no reason at all came right back in, and then, you know, now we're at least holding it. I know I talked about these 3 lines. I know I said we should not lose those 3 moving averages, and I'm glad so far that has been the case, right? So glad that held right there. Kind of the same comments I said about Tilray, right? I know it's only 2, not 3, but yeah, I think these 2 should hold, right? Just where I thought that would happen on high tide, right? So good technical hold on 3 lines for sure. Let's break the 8 and keep going, right? That's essentially the goal right now. Give me this. I think 165 is our money line. Give me 165 tomorrow, and yeah, I'll start to believe, and hopefully we keep going up from there, right? Next line. Yeah, maybe that 170 range if we can get that. Obviously, I'm not going to draw that line. I still like this line right here, right? But yeah, give me 165. Let me believe we're above the lines. I'm glad those 3 held. Yeah, let me know your thoughts and opinions. I wanted more from the sector, but hey, bad is way worse than not quite. You know what I mean? So let me know your thoughts. Thank you.